Friends, do you know today is May 23rd, 2023. This day is the 137th birth anniversary of a well-known Indian revolutionary. Is he a well-known Indian revolutionary? Do you notice somewhere his birth anniversary is being celebrated? Well, I have not seen it. But I got to know about him. By the way, are you aware of him? Now let me read out to you an extract from Lord Hardinge's memoirs, My Indian Years, 1910 to 1916. Lord Hardinge was the Viceroy of India. So here is the extract. It was a perfect morning, and the procession of elephants made a most striking picture of oriental color and splendor. We passed through the Queen's Garden, and it was there that I had an unaccountable presentiment of evil and said to my wife, I feel quite miserable. I'm sure something dreadful is going to happen. She replied, it's only that you are tired and you always dislike ceremonials. A few moments later, the procession entered the Chandni Chowk, the principal street of Delhi. I had not proceeded more than about 300 yards before there was a shattering explosion. My elephant stopped. There was dead silence. My helmet was on the road. I turned to look back where I saw some yellow powder and remarked, I'm afraid that was a bomb. I felt as though somebody had hit me very hard in the back and had poured boiling water over me. The chief of police handed up my helmet and asked for orders. I said the procession was to proceed as before. But when the procession had gone short distance, my wife, looking behind, saw that I was badly wounded, and the servant who was standing behind me, holding the state umbrella, was dead. I stopped the elephant at once. While the poor man's body was being removed, I fainted for loss of blood, and on recovering consciousness found myself lying on the pavement and receiving first aid. I gave orders that everything was to be carried out as arranged and gave the text of the speech I had prepared to be read at the ceremony by the senior member of my council. This was done, my wish being that India should realize that nothing could deflect the British government and the government of India from their declared intention. My wounds, which were very painful, took a long time to heal, as several small operations were necessary to remove the particles of the bomb, with which were screws, nails, gramophone needles, etc. But I was determined to open the first meeting of the Legislative Assembly in the new capital. I was quite unfit to do so, as I had to leave my bed to go to the chamber. After a short rest, I addressed the assembly for about 15 minutes, and after listening to a few speeches from the leaders, I returned to bed. 2 days later, I went to Dehradun for a month. Two incidents of interest occurred on the journey. The second one was when driving in a car from the station to my bungalow, I passed an Indian standing in front of the gate of his house with several others, all of whom were very demonstrative in their salam. On inquiring who these people might be, I was told that the principal Indian there had presided 2 days before at a public meeting at Dehradun and had proposed and carried a vote of condolence with me on account of the attack on my life. It was proved later that it was this identical Indian who threw the bomb at me. Unquote. So friends, as I told you earlier, this is an extract from chapter 7 of Lord Hardinge's memoir, My Indian Years, 1910 to 1916. December 23rd, 1912. The bomb was heard on Viceroy Lord Hardinge as he was making his first formal ceremonial entry to Delhi city, the new capital of India. Viceroy Lord Hardinge was instrumental in shifting the capital of British India from Calcutta to Delhi. Do you know who was this Indian who threw the bomb at Lord Hardinge? Okay, let me add something more. In 1915, the same Indian revolutionary attempted to replicate the Sepoy mutiny at the Banaras cantonment and Lahore cantonment, which later came to be known as the Banaras conspiracy and Lahore conspiracy cases. Facing certain death disguised as Priyanath Tagore, a relative of Rabindranath Tagore, this Indian revolutionary fled to Japan in the same year, 1915. There, he was not only sheltered by Japanese nationalist Soma family at Nakamuraya, Tokyo, but later on, the Soma family made him their son-in-law. Now, do you recollect who was this Indian? Well, the same Indian introduced to the Soma family's restaurant at Nakamuraya the popular Indian style curry. Next time you are in Tokyo, make sure to enjoy this popular dish bearing his name, being served to this day since 1927 at the Nakamuraya restaurant, Tokyo. Now, do you recollect who is he? Okay, let me add something more about him. In March 1942, in Tokyo, he convened a conference where he established Indian Independence League. Same year, in June 1942, he convened a conference in Bangkok where he invited Subhash Chandra Bose to join the league and take its command as its president. Not only that, he convinced the Japanese government to hand over the captured Indian prisoners of war, who then joined the Indian National Army, INA, which he formed on September 1st, 1942, as the military wing of Indian National League. Now, do you recollect? Who is he? He selected the flag for Azad Hind Force and handed the flag to the younger Subhash Chandra Bose, and he himself remained as its chief advisor and patron. In 1943, the Japanese government honored him with second highest civilian award, the Second Order of Merit of the Rising Sun. Do you recollect? Who is he? Suffering from tuberculosis for a long time, he passed away in Tokyo on 21st January 1945. And today, May 25th, 2023, you are welcome to celebrate his 137th birth anniversary. Do you recall who is he? Would you like me to disclose it? Or would you like me to keep it as a suspense and you will take the trouble of finding out or Google it out? Who was he? The great Indian revolutionaries? Well, I agree with you. I would keep it as a suspense. It's your task to share in the comment and find out who is he. And those of you who already know about him, I request you to share some more tidbits about this great Indian revolutionary. Jai Hind.